Imitation has been called the most sincere form of flattery. In its purest form, it's a way to show respect, an unspoken pillar of hip-hop. If you show respect, you get respect. Disrespect, on the other hand, could very well result in consequences. Through the years, many rappers have borrowed flows and lines from predecessors and peers, merging other elements and styles with their own in homage to their influences. In a space where authenticity is both paramount and parallel to respect, at what point does this appropriation come across as lazy, unimaginative, or disrespectful? Jay-Z's use of Biggie's lyrics are a particularly notable example. Jay and Biggie were friends, united by their Brooklyn roots and ambition. They had a genuine bond that ran deeper than trading verses on Jay-Z's Brooklyn's Finest and Biggie's I Love the Dough. But due to Biggie's murder in '97, Jay was never able to share his success with his friend. So Jay recycling well-known Biggie lyrics on songs like I Just Wanna Love You, or slightly changing them for The Ruler's Back,
your reign on the top was shorter than leprechauns. You can't fuck with hoe, what type of extra on?
was merely a matter of him paying homage to his fallen friend, a way to keep his legacy fresh as time passed. It's highly unlikely that Jay-Z thought he was fooling the hip-hop community by repeating his old friend's lyrics. And even considering how often Hov used Biggie's lyrics, as Nas so venomously pointed out on Ether, he didn't rely on them. They weren't essential to Jay-Z's success, and ultimately, no gripes cost him anything in that area or in terms of respect. But other high-profile artists have ruffled feathers and paid the price for crossing the invisible line. For example, Drake. Drake has been forthcoming about his influences since the beginning of his career, practically gushing with fandom from day one. He's also got a lengthy history of using elements from rappers' music as pieces to his own puzzles. Over, from his 2010 debut Thank Me Later, reinterprets a line from Dead Prez's Hip Hop.
One thing about music, when it hits you, feel no pain.
Practice, from 2011's Take Care, includes a long interpolation of Juvenile's sublime Back That Ass Up, a nod to Young Money's Cash Money roots. Wu-Tang Forever from 2013's Nothing Was the Same interpolates Wu-Tang Clan's It's Yours.
Even back then, you would look at me with no hesitation, then you tell me, baby, it's yours. Nobody else is.
Then on Views from 2016, Drake references DMX How's It Going Down on You With Me. These creative liberties weren't always well received, but they didn't result in those particular artists calling him out. Rappin' Forte, however, had time for criticism. After Drake parodied part of his hit record Players Club on YG's Who Do You Love in 2014, the San Francisco rapper took him to task for not paying homage. No lawsuit was filed, but later that year, Rappin' Forte's manager told TMZ that Drake's label paid $100,000 to resolve the situation. Drake borrowing his flow, cadence, and lyrics were considered disrespectful because he didn't show the proper courtesy to the originator. In 2017, GoldLink released the Kaytranada-produced Meditation. Smino made sure to point out that it featured lyrics that were strikingly similar to his unreleased demo, Cassette. GoldLink later explained that he previously wrote to Smino's demo for a song that he thought he was going to appear on, but it never materialized and he later lost the song. He took full responsibility for not telling Smino that he was using a verse built around those particular lyrics. This was a failure in communication and less of an instance of outright theft. So what's the difference between a display of admiration and straight up swagger jacking? The intention, but also making sure you have the green light. It was disorienting when A$AP Rocky abruptly deployed Bone Thugs-n-Harmony, or Lord Infamous's trademark staccato on Palace back in 2011, but Bone Thugs appreciated it. Regarding these similarities, Busy Bone told XXL that he was honored, quote, "To be a 16-year-old coming into the business and influencing other generations and still be in the realm of that generation and revolving around that generation is still such a cool thing." So whether it's Kendrick Lamar flipping the chorus from Snoop Dogg's Down For My Niggas on Tammy's song off Section 80, or Schoolboy Q straight up quoting Jay-Z's Niggas in Paris verse on Nightmares on Fig Street, the rules are very clear. Hip-hop is the art of taking what we love and using it in our own way. Always show respect, always be genuine, and always go through the proper channels. Otherwise, it might cost you in more ways than one. What up, squad? I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you can hit the subscribe button. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram by clicking the links below. Until next time, thanks for watching All Def Music.